Monday, May 6, 2024, Urbandale City Council meeting. I will call the meeting to order and ask Nicole to take roll call, please.
Bodie,
Here.
Carberry Montgomery. Here. Kroll. Here. McBurney.
Here.
Rosendahl.
Stand as you're able for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Urbandale is a national leader in character counts, endeavoring at all times to promote and model the principles of trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and citizenship. In conducting tonight's meeting, we expect that all participants will act in a respectful manner consistent with these principles. Item 2 is to approve the agenda. Ask for a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Carberry Montgomery.
Second.
Bernie, discussion, please vote. Sorry, Pat. Larry by a nose.
I got my voice back.
That passes. Item 3, presentations. We do have 3 very special proclamations that I'm going to read tonight and ask some folks to come up to accept these as well. First is for the National Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. Whereas the month of May has been designated as National Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, a time to recognize and celebrate the rich cultural diversity, traditions, and contributions of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders to our community, state, and nation. Whereas Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders have played a vital role in shaping the history, culture, and economic development of the United States, contributing to the strength, prosperity, and vibrancy of our nation. Whereas this observance provides an opportunity to honor the achievements and acknowledge the challenges faced by AAPI communities, promoting understanding, appreciation, and respect for their unique heritage and experiences. Now therefore, I, Robert Andeweg, Mayor of the City of Urbandale, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2024 as National Asian Pacific American Heritage Month in the City of Urbandale, and encourage all residents, schools, businesses, and community organizations to participate in events and activities that celebrate the cultural richness of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. And I want to ask Lisa McBurney to step up and accept this on our behalf.
Three. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. You want to say a few words, Lisa? The floor is yours. You never turn down opportunities.
Well, on behalf of the AAPI, would like to thank the City of Urbandale, Mayor, thank you, and the rest of the City Council members. We appreciate the support and looking out for us.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lucy. And next is National Police Week 2024. Whereas the Congress and the President of the United States have designated May 15 as Peace Officers Memorial Day, and the week in which it falls is National Police Week. And whereas the members of the Urbandale Police Department play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of the city of Urbandale. And whereas since the first recorded death in 1791, more than 26,000 law enforcement officers in the United States have made the ultimate sacrifice and have been killed in the line of duty protecting their communities, including one of our own, Urbandale Police Officer Justin Martin, who was tragically killed in the line of duty on November 2, 2016. Now therefore, I, Robert Andeweg, Mayor of the City of Urbandale, call upon all citizens of Urbandale and upon all patriotic, civil, and educational organizations to observe May 12th through May 18th, 2024 as National Police Week, with ceremonies in which all of our citizens may join in commemorating police officers, past and present, who by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities have rendered a dedicated service to their communities, and in doing so have earned for themselves an enduring reputation for preserving the rights and security of all citizens. I further call upon all citizens of Urbandale to observe Wednesday, May 15, 2024, as Peace Officer Memorial Day to honor the service and sacrifice of those law enforcement officers killed in the line of duty while protecting our communities. And I've signed and sealed this on the 6th day of May 2024, and I want to ask Chief Johansson to come up and accept this. You want to say a few words about the service?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. First of all, thanks to the City of Urbandale for recognizing Police Week each year. And we also participate have a ceremony that we honor all the officers that were lost during the last year. And that will be May 15th at Eternity Church in Clyde, 2000 Northwest 100th Street at 5:30 p.m. on May 15th.
All right.
If you can make that service, it's really nice. Do a really good job with it. A lot of, we do have honor guards from several different departments that do presentations there. Thanks for
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate it. And I encourage those, and we were talking about, there are a number of us going on the DC trip, and I encourage those of you to attend. Their Police Week is going on in DC. There'll be a lot of officers there, and the memorial is only about 4 blocks from our hotel, so I would encourage you to all take time to go over there as well, so. All right. Lastly is the proclamation for National Building Safety Month. Whereas the city of Urbandale recognizes that its growth and strength depends on having safe homes, buildings, and infrastructure, both in everyday life and when disasters strike. And whereas our confidence in the resilience of these buildings that make up our community is achieved through the building safety and fire prevention officials, architects, engineers, builders, tradespeople, design professionals, laborers, plumbers, and others in the construction industry who work year-round to ensure the safe construction of buildings. Whereas these professionals are dedicated members of the International Code Council, a nonprofit that brings together local, state, territorial, tribal, and federal officials who are experts in the building environment. And whereas the theme for Building Safety Month 2024 is Mission Possible, which encourages us all to raise awareness about building safety on a personal, local, and global scale. So now, therefore, I, Robert Andwig, Mayor of the City of Urbandale, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2024 as Building Safety Month. And I know our Chief Building Official, Roger Schemmel, is in the audience. Roger, you can come up.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Great. Just briefly, you say so much in the proclamation, but basically, it's Building Safety Month, but it's 5 weeks, and they usually try to just mention that 5 weeks are, first week is understanding the mission, second week is preparing for building safety plan, and week 3 is learning from the pros, and week 4 is engaging your community, and week 5 is celebrating that success. So the mission is as simple as having smoke alarms in your house, and the end of the mission of celebrating is proclamation.
All right, thank you, Roger. All right, we will move on then to Citizens Forum. This is the opportunity to address the council on something that's not a part of tonight's agenda. Would anyone like to address the council this time? All right, seeing none, we'll move on. Item 5, the adoption minutes, first from the April 16 meeting.
So moved.
Motion by Kroll. Second. Second by Rosendahl. Discussion, please vote. That passes. Then from the April 24 meeting,
So moved.
motion by Kroll. Second by Rosendahl. Discussion, please vote. That passes. Item 6 is the consent agenda. There are 12 items for approval.
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Motion by Rosendahl. Second by McMurney. Discussion, please vote. That passes. Item 7, public hearings. We have one public hearing, and that is to consider the consideration of bids for the Hopkins Road from 70th Street, Hopkins Road to 70th Street storm sewer repairs. The public notice for this was published in the April 19, 2024 Des Moines Register. Ask there any objections to that. Notice is published.
There were none.
Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So move.
Motion by McBurney, second
Second.
by Bodie. Discussion, please vote. All right, that passes. And introducing this is our Director of Engineering and Public Works, John Larson. John?
Right, yeah. Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. This is our Hopkins Road 70th Street Storm Sewer Repairs Project, our bid tabulation. So it was on April 25th that we received 8 bids for the project. We're recommending the low bid from Nagel Construction in the amount of $251,745. Their bid was approximately $22,000 or 8% less than our estimate. With the project, we'll be replacing 555 feet of storm sewer so we can help reduce flooding that's happening at an intersection. We're anticipating the work being done by November 29th. Just a little bit about the project. So it starts at 70th and New York. What you see in yellow is the new storm sewer pipe that'll be installed along 70th and then along Hopkins. The intersection that's been flooding is here, so we're upsizing the pipe here. And then the areas in purple you can see are just the sidewalks and driveways that'll be replaced in order to install the storm sewer pipe. With that, I'd be glad to answer any questions.
All right. Questions for John? All right, we're in public hearing. This is an opportunity to address the council on this item. Would anyone like to address the council? All right, seeing none, then there's a motion to close the public hearing.
So move.
Motion by Bodie,
Second.
second by Carberry Montgomery. Discussion, please vote. That passes, and we have 4 resolutions for consideration.
Motion to approve Resolution 143-2024.
Motion by McBurney,
Second.
second by Bodie. Discussion, please vote. That passes.
Motion to approve Resolution 135-2024.
Motion by McBurney,
Second.
by Bodie. Discussion, please vote. That passes.
Motion to approve Resolution 136-2024.
Motion by McBurney,
Second.
by Bodie. Discussion, please vote. That passes.
And motion to approve Resolution 137-2024.
Motion by McBurney,
Second.
by Bodie. Discussion, please vote. That passes. Item 8 is to establish public hearings. First is item 8.1 to establish May 21, 2024 for consideration of an operating budget amendment for fiscal year 23-24.
Motion to approve Council Letter 7779.
Motion by Kroll,
Second.
second by Carberry Montgomery. Discussion, please vote. That passes. Item 9, planning and zoning items. We have 3 tonight. First is item 9.1, the Meredith Estates Plat 1 final plat at 9100 Meredith Drive. And introducing this is our Assistant Community Development Director, Christy Bales. Chrissy.
Thank you. Very good. The first final plat before you this evening is for a development called Meredith Estates up here on Meredith Drive, just west of 86th Street, across from Bestland Park. The proposal is to take this approximately 4.5 acre parcel, subdivide it into 6 single-family lots. There will be a new cul-de-sac that's poured called 90th Circle off of Meredith Drive. It'll be right in, right out, not at a full movement access. You can see how those 6 lots are proposed with stormwater detention that follows the drainage way back there along the lots. The development is pulling out the 4-foot sidewalk, putting in the 5-foot sidewalk. That's our standard sidewalk width along Meredith. It will have sidewalks along both sides of the street. They are also platting that 50-foot landscape buffer that's required along our arterial streets. They'll be keeping some of the trees, and then they'll be adding some additional landscape as well. Shane Devick is here as the project engineer from CEC. He can answer any questions on the project. I can take any questions you may have first. P&Z and staff are recommending approval, subject to the comments and conditions in the staff report.
All right.
So I take it with the stormwater, or the surface water easement in the back, there's not going to be built any building on that. It's just for allowing flow.
Correct. That is for flow and detention, so no structures will be in that shaded area that's hatched on your plat. Correct.
Sure what that is. All right.
Motion to approve Council Letter 7783.
Motion by Kroll,
Second.
second by Rosendahl. Discussion, please vote. That passes. Item 9.2 is the JANA Plat 1 preliminary and final plats at 4926 150th Street. Christie?
Very good. This will be very familiar to all of you because the third reading of the ordinance to change the zoning was on the consent agenda. You saw this rezoning just earlier this year to change the zoning to R1S. This is the property. It's about 16 and a half acres in size. It's about halfway between Meredith Drive, go north, and half a mile south of Waterford Road. The property, a good chunk of which is in the flood fringe, and I'll turn that layer on so that you can see it here. The plan is to demolish the existing house that's on there and build one house and two outlots back. And you can see the drive that's planned off of 156th Street. They'll remove that northern existing drive. There's actually kind of an approach that's already there, but they'll use that to come in. They'll elevate the driveway as required by our floodplain ordinance, and then they'll build the one house that they have planned there. There's no street connection to 159th Street. This will be the only point of access for that house, and so you can see the one lot and the two outlots that are planned. Jared Johnson is here. He is the developer and future homeowner of that house. Dean Roger is here from CDA as well. I'll take any questions you may have. I'll look to them for any others I can't answer.
Any questions from the council?
I don't know why I didn't notice this when I looked at the agenda before, but it probably doesn't matter, but it's not 150th Street, right? It's 156th, the address in the title.
Yes. Sorry about that. It is 156th Street.
It probably doesn't, I'm sure it's right everywhere it needs to be right, but maybe check.
It's fixed. Yes.
Okay.
It's 156th Street, yes, thank you.
Looking at, I'm trying to find the page. It's the second one, the one that has the actual like driveway and the building and everything on it. Is that line between, like under the driveway, is that like a, I don't know, a drain or something from that north stormwater outlot X into outlot Y?
There's a culvert, I don't know if I've got the same screen pulled up now.
You've got the right one.
There's a culvert that will be, 15-inch pipe will be under that driveway for the stormwater detention flow, yes. And actually, there's one up a little bit farther as well.
Then everything south is going to go into outlot X within reason. Like it's going to flow.
Oh, I had,
Or,
yes.
okay, sounds good.
Okay, any other questions? Not? We have a motion.
Motion to approve council letter 77, or,
We didn't take it in two, actually.
yeah. Motion to approve JANA Plat 1 preliminary plat, subject to conditions.
Okay, motion by Rosendahl,
Second.
second by Carberry Montgomery. Discussion, please vote. That passes.
Motion to approve resolution 131-2024.
Motion by Rosendahl,
Second.
second by McBurney. Discussion, please vote. That passes. Item 9.3 is consider the Urbandale Food Pantry Building Addition Site Plan at 7901 Douglas Avenue. Christie?
Very good. This one will also be very familiar because the rezoning, you had the public hearing what feels like last week.
It was, wasn't it?
Maybe a week and a half ago. This is at 7901 on the aerial showing here, frontage onto Douglas, but access is actually onto 79th Street. This is the Urbandale Food Pantry project. The food pantry is purchasing this 2-story office building, and they hope to add on about 1,500 square foot of warehousing for their operations, food pantry operations on the north side of the building. The building itself is 1 story in height. The office building is 2-story in height. With this, they also have the dumpster enclosure. You'll notice from the aerial before, there's residential to the north, northwest, and west where this office building is. It's commercial to the east, or excuse me, to the west on Douglas, multifamily to the east on Douglas. They are adding a 3rd entrance onto 79th Street. This was actually shown on the 1971 site plan that was approved, and so they're going to construct that so that that goes to the back of the house operations for their project. Patty Sneeding-Kesting is here as Director of the Urbandale Food Pantry, and the Board President Suzanne, and I'm blanking on her last name, I'm sorry. Benke are both here tonight. I'll try to answer questions you may have, and they are here to answer any project questions as well. Staff is recommending approval, as did Planning and Zoning Commission.
Absolutely. All right. Any further questions or comments from the council?
I didn't realize there were planters back there. Were they in use, or was it just kind of something that was just hanging out?
Did you say planters?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the history on those and who had those. Those will come out with this project, but yes, in the aerial photo, you can see like kind of 4 elevated garden plots.
Like that's our opportunity for community garden ideas.
Oh, my goodness.
Not here, though.
Not,
They
not
have other
specifically at that
intentions.
spot, yeah.
So
But
this spot, they'd like to take with something else.
Motion to approve Council Letter 7785.
Second.
By Kroll, second by Carberry Montgomery. Discussion?
Hey, real quick, Patty, how often do you guys get large truck traffic to the pantry? Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Then will that be accessing in the back there, that 3rd one? Okay. How large of a truck do you typically get? Okay. Okay, I was gonna say nothing insanely large. Okay, cool. That's all I had.
Okay. All right, we have a motion to second. Any further discussion? If not, please vote. That passes. Thank you. Item 10, regular agenda items. As first item, 10.1 is to consider the 2024 Series A General Obligation Capital Loan Note Sale. And is Nikki here tonight?
Nikki's online, and I'd be happy to answer questions also. These are just procedural items. Every time that we sell debt, we go ahead and appoint an agent and then approving the authorization in form of loan.
Motion to approve Resolution 141-2024.
Motion by McBurney,
second.
second by Rosendahl. Discussion, please vote. That passes.
And motion to approve Resolution 142-2024.
Motion by McBurney,
Second.
second by Rosendahl. Discussion, please vote. That passes. Item 10.2 is consider the park naming for Rick Boals Park. And to introduce this is our Parks and Rec Director, Jan Herkey. Jan?
I'm trying to live with the ages. I'm actually reading off my phone here. The Parks and Rec Department received the request from 2 community members to consider renaming South Karen Acres Park after our former Parks and Recreation Director, Rick Boals. Rick was a director for 30 years, started in 1974 and retired in 2005. With a letter of request stated Rick Boals was born and raised in Urbandale and dedicated to the community his entire life. He loved being outdoors and believed that outdoor activities and amenities were not luxuries but necessities for people to have a quality of life. And during Rick's tenure. He developed more than 40 parks, 790 acres of parkland, recreation facilities throughout the city, 33 miles of trails, and was a mentor, obviously, to me. I was here, I've been here 26 years, and many of those with Rick, and I obviously took over Rick's tenure as well. So went through the park naming policy process, which is to go to the recommendation or the request goes to the Park and Recreation Commission, 2 commission members and a community member consider that recommendation, bring it back to the Parks and Recreation Commission for their recommendation, 30-day waiting period, and it comes before you tonight. So it is a recommendation from all of those people, and obviously if there's any input from the current Parks and Recreation Director, I think it's certainly a very deserved recommendation for South Karen Acres Park to be renamed Rick Boals Park. And we do have some family members, his wife Sherry and family are here tonight as well. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Jane.
Motion to approve Council Letter 7778.
Motion by Kroll,
Second.
second by McBurney. Discussion, please vote. That item passes. And I want to ask the Boals family to come up if we could, and we'd like to present the formal plaque tonight to show the naming of Rick Boals Park, so.
And this is the sign. We will have a sign just like this, obviously much like that will be put up at the park. So this is for the Boals family to take with them.
Picture. Let's get some.
That's nice.
Great.
Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah, perfect. 1, 2, 3. Take one.
Please.
One more. On 3. 1, 2. Great. Everyone use one with this. One more. Oh, one more. Okay.
Family, yeah, that'd be great.
I want to be in the Christmas card.
There you go. 1, 2. Okay, great.
Love it.
Again, thank you, Sherry, for sharing Rick with us so many years. He was truly an architect of our park system early on and got it to where it is today. So thank you to the Boals family for sharing Rick with us for so many years. It's highly appropriate that we name a park after him. So thank you again. All right, we'll move on then to item 10.3, and that is to consider the acquisition of a parcel of 4.02 acres at 10100 Douglas Avenue. And introducing us is our Economic Development Director, Aaron DeYoung. Aaron?
Great. Thank you, Mayor and Council. Aaron DeYoung with the Economic Development Department. And here to present a potential purchase and sale agreement with Dynamite Marketing, Inc. This is a map of the property being considered. This is at the southwest corner of 100th and Douglas. Used to be the Catalyst feed location. That building was demolished in 2021 by the current owners, an outfit out of Idaho that purchased the company and then demoed that. And so again, what we mentioned already, this is one of the properties within the blighted area designation within the Northwest Market Urban Renewal District. With that, and so blight remediation has already begun certainly with the demolition, and then redevelopment will certainly help encourage that further blight remediation along the Douglas Avenue corridor. Certainly this property is in a key location for the Douglas Avenue focus area within our Forward Urbandale comprehensive plan as an opportunity for placemaking. Also, through the police department, their efforts of designing and locating a potential new police station for the community, this came and rose high on the list as a potential option for a civic use, namely the police station with that. And then also, certainly with the visibility of this property at the 4.02 acres that it has, for the city to be able to control that property's redevelopment for the benefit of the city as a whole. Just the high points of the purchase and sale agreement, $2.5 million purchase price. Again, this is in the urban renewal district there, so that would be the funds used for the purchase of the property. There is a 30-day due diligence period in there. We've already done some due diligence already, and so there's not very much left to do, but certainly we wanted the time to do that before going to closing. Within 5 days of approval, should you want to approve this, there'd be a $25,000 earnest deposit to go to the seller's broker with that, and we've already got that in process. Nikki knows we'll get that done if you want to approve this contract. So that is my very brief presentation. Thank you for the time listening to me. Happy to answer any questions. And there is a resolution there for your approval if you'd like to do that.
All right, thank you, Aaron. Any questions?
Could you flip back to the picture of the lots?
Of course.
Okay, sounds good. I just wanted to see, I was trying to figure out if the little triangle was railroad or if it.
Yes, that is the railroad there that runs right in between. Yep.
Gotcha.
A few pine trees right there. So you can see those in your mind as you're going through the corridor.
Motion by McBurney,
Second?
second by Kroll. Discussion, please vote. That passes. All right.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Aaron. Item 10.4 is to consider the 28E agreement for joint fiber optics with the Urbandale Community School District. And John, answer any questions if there are.
Motion to approve. Council Letter 7780.
Motion by Rosendahl,
Second?
second by Kroll. Discussion, please vote. That passes. Item 10.5 is consider the purchase of roadway salt. Again, John, answer any questions?
Motion to approve Council Letter 7781.
Motion by Kroll,
Second.
second by McBurney. Discussion, please vote. That passes. Item 10.6 is to consider the purchase of the council audio-video system replacement. And I'll turn it over to our city clerk, Nicole Wenders. Nicole?
Good evening, Mayor, members of council. Just talk to you from over here at the command station. No, the current system was put in 2020, actually just pre-pandemic. So a lot of the considerations that we put into that equipment weren't how we're currently functioning today. As you may or may not have noticed, we've experienced some pretty critical failures, having the system crash. We had started evaluating options and vendors that could maybe better suit our needs, looking at pricing, of course, service. And then really the biggest one from my perspective is ease of use for the different boards and commissions and even just business meetings for a user to come in and be able to sit down and understand how to function pretty quickly on the equipment, which is not what we have today. So happy to answer any other questions you have regarding the system. Most of the existing pieces that you see up front here will all stay. Those will all be reused and reintegrated with the new equipment. It's really just the brains of the system that's being replaced.
So that, I fully support this purchase, but just because the way we do business has changed since the pandemic, is that really, well, and obviously we've had the problems, but I would expect something to last longer than 4 years, or maybe it's technology and that's too much of a expectation. So too much use, or what, do you really, is there a reason
I
why it
think,
didn't last very long?
I
And
think it's
don't know.
an unfortunate, we would hope that it would last longer as well. I think it's an unfortunate combination of all the things that you mentioned. One of them being that the equipment hit end of life much sooner than we expected. When they designate it that way, it means that the parts are no longer available. So they've tried twice to replace with other parts. And currently the system has a house fan blowing on it in the back room to keep, the fan is the piece that has had the critical failure and that crashes the system and has to be kind of rebuilt from the ground up each time we use it. So, yes, our hope is that this next system will have much longer life.
Great. Is there a warranty that comes with those?
A very short,
Here,
a very
like, good
short
luck.
one, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And so when I'm assuming we're going to approve this, but is it going, like, are they in the process of getting it put together right now so that they can install it right now? Or is this?
So the vendor is waiting on our decision or your approval this evening, and they are about 4 to 6 weeks out to be able to schedule the install, and of course, based on the availability of the parts, because they'll wait to order them until we place the order and make the deposit. But our hope is for July 1 that we would have that in place. Yeah.
That's good.
Is there an opportunity for extended warranty?
I don't know if we've had that discussion with them, but we certainly can.
Might be worth it.
Yes.
Did I see that there was like a 3-year support as part of this?
Yes.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's an actual warranty, but right, yeah.
All right. Motion to approve council letter 7789.
Second.
Roll, second by Bodie. Any further discussion? Please vote.
Second, fire.
That passes. That takes us to the end of the agenda, so we'll go to mayor and council items. Bridget?
I don't know if many of you noticed, but there was a gun sale in Adele over the weekend.
Notice that.
And plastered signs from here
Winter side.
everywhere. And that happens every time there's a gun sale at the fairgrounds. And I'm just wondering what we can do. I mean, it's bigger than Urbandale, but there were plenty in Urbandale. What we can do to cease and desist. I'm going to throw some lawyer words out. I don't know, but I mean, we can pick those up and bring them.
We do, yes.
But I don't know. I'd like to, I mean, especially the ones with the little guns on them are particularly upsetting. But there's also a lot of other, like, you know, roofing and just other random signs cluttering everywhere right now. I mean, I know real estate and garage sales I don't really care so much about because those generally are, you know,
Very short.
limited. But those yellow signs were driving me nuts this weekend.
I don't know that there's contact that we've made with companies that we have repeat offenders from. They know that we pick them up. We contact them. They can come and pick up their signs. I can discuss with staff if there's some type of preemptive activity we can take. I don't know that it will prevent them from putting signs out, quite honestly. I'm looking at our 2 representatives from Community Development and Building. Well, Roger, you're here, so you're going to be included. No, this, so let us talk about it. I don't know that there's really, I can't think of anything preemptively we can do except to contact them. I know that they do place signs on private property, which is permissible, but on public right-of-way, it's not. We go through that every year. The gun show is one, roofers, people hauling junk, house painters, house cleaners.
Exotic animals.
I haven't seen that one yet. No, I have not seen the exotic yet. Okay.
That just must be your neighborhood.
We see things that are very seasonal. So let's take a look and we'll see what we can do.
Python Place.
My other question was, when are we going to be getting the final strategic plan. Not the human services, but the council plan.
It's my understanding that you'll be looking at that in the last meeting of June, the last meeting of May or first meeting in June. I can't recall. We had a meeting this afternoon with staff with Baton, and a date was mentioned, and I can't tell you what it was. I apologize. I don't know. John, do you remember?
Yeah, that first meeting in June was the plan.
All right. Thank you, John.
The way you looked initially, I was like, wait, we already got it, and I,
No.
I was gonna go ahead soon. I said, what?
No, I've seen the two drafts that you have.
I keep missing stuff.
No, I'm looking for a date, and I went blank. I'm sorry.
just to know that we haven't already gotten it is.
Oh, no, we didn't put on a consent agenda or anything. This will be presented to you by Baton. You will take an opportunity to discuss and to vote on it.
Okay, fantastic.
Yep. Sorry
That
about that.
is
Thank
what
you,
I got.
John. Pat?
I want to thank everybody who's going to DC. I'm sorry I won't be with you, but I appreciate your efforts, and I want to thank Curtis and whoever is responsible for the updates of the materials that you'll be taking with you. I think those were wonderful updates, and I appreciate that very much. Also, I'd really like to see what we're doing to kind of pounce on the Complete Streets public engagement pieces. It just keeps kind of surfacing in various social media and not in a positive way. And I know we've talked about maybe trying to connect with the school board. Someone was mentioning to me that there was a civics class that there might be an opportunity to engage with. I'd just like to see us pounce on this, and I'm not sure what I should be doing from my end to help make that happen. But these are potentially great projects, and I would like to see them move forward. And I think the public engagement piece is a critical part of it. So I wanted to bring that up as a reminder to all of us to not drop that ball at all. And I realize that it's probably not great timing while students are trying to graduate, but we might want to reach out to the schools soon so that we can connect over the summer months in some way and then be prepared for a bigger push in September.
AJ and I had reached out to schools and had not, we'd reached out with several dates and we never got anything on the calendar as of yet.
I'm trying to balance the three of you and me.
Yeah,
So
we've given them our dates. I
yes,
believe.
we have our
So
dates.
we
I
have
know.
had the dialogue, again, I've spoken to Dr. Daka about it, I've spoken to Jason about it. So they are aware that we are moving forward on this thing, but I do think we need to have some dialogue, but we do definitely need to also get the public engagement
You're right.
process started too. I agree with that, Pat.
Okay, and if there's anything I can do to help with that, let me know.
Thank
Door
you.
to door.
John, we've been,
Door
John.
to door, I'm great
obviously has been-
at dropping handbills.
We've been talking about timing and everything else, so we just need to put that on the front burner. I agree. I think we need to do that, and we want to get the information out and make sure people are aware, so.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pat. Amy?
I was just going to say, the Sustainable Action Plan, the Urbandale Sustainable Action Plan, sitting on my counter, and I look at it every day, and I'm like, there's so much good stuff that came out of that conversation, and it's still just matriculating. I think there's some really key strategies that we can take and run with. So we'll add that to the list of things to sit down and talk about. It ties in really well with the Complete Streets as well, so.
Quick sidebar to that. Would there be an opportunity for a lunch session or something where we took that list and took our strategic plan and our human services plan and we kind of looked at them collectively to see what might pop as priorities for us out of the sustainable Urbandale action things that they offered? It's just an idea.
Does it need to be a lunch and learn, or can it be something, as long as we don't have too many people?
What are you thinking?
I don't know, just like a small committee to start kind of, because that's a lot of digging into the weeds.
Yeah.
We could probably start with a subcommittee, yeah.
I'd be happy to sit on that subcommittee.
Blending
And
three.
I'll jump in here too. I think the students did an excellent job. I was blown away
Phenomenal.
from where we sat here in January, and even in the subsequent meetings, the progress. And, you know, I, as both a student and a staff person, and now as an elected official, I've been on all the different sides of this. And I really feel like there's actual actionable things in this plan, which is really a great concept.
Yeah, they did a great job.
And I'd be happy to sit on it.
Blending 3 strategic plans together would probably take more than lunch and learn, so maybe a subcommittee, as the mayor mentioned, would be good.
Might
I
cause an
think with
explosion.
the street, with the action matrix that we have on the strategic plan, I remember seeing something on there about just factoring in stuff like that. That all just kind of starts, once we get the strat plan, I feel like some of those things
We'll take
start
on.
moving as part of that.
It kind of goes into my request to look at where might we do affordable housing and chunks of land that Steve Franklin was going to look at.
Sure.
Oh, good, I'm glad, because that was the other thing I meant to bring up, but I'm sorry, I'm taking your time.
Oh, you're good.
But yeah, these were decent projects today brought to us, but they weren't dense at all. So,
Amy?
I just did mine.
Oh, you did. Sorry.
Take the baton.
Pat was back.
Like we were, you know, also still
Back
going.
and forth.
It's all good.
Looking forward to the DC trip. I've been trying to keep up with all the emails since I was out the last half of the week in Fort Lauderdale for a work trip, so I'm back now. The only thing I wanted to mention was with the severe weather that happened a couple weeks back, maybe it was a couple weeks, maybe it was just last week.
Last
Time
Friday.
moves fast. It was pretty interesting to be sitting in on some of those calls, especially early on with Polk County Emergency Management, just to see how they rally around different things and what processes they have in place and the topics they keep in mind as the severe weather unfolds and the aftermath of that. So I think that was a good tutorial for what in the future may be something we have to deal with just with how weather happens. Thankfully, we dodged it.
So I'm going to interrupt Blake's. I see we've now canceled the storm siren test like 2 months in a row, or at least canceled because it was too cold. It was going to freeze the one time, and then we canceled.
confusing, yeah.
They're weather related.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
because
That one was because there was like
Bad weather.
near severe weather
Right.
at that time. too.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Okay.
So they're both weather related.
Okay. Will we be testing them? Considering we've had severe weather?
I will get with Chief Cardwell on that one.
that's a good question.
Good question.
I know that where the sirens that I hear, the first Saturday is every month at 12 noon.
Yeah, we've just canceled the last 2. So,
I will get an update for you on that one.
thank you.
We may get another run
Tomorrow.
of it tonight, so who knows? Maybe that'll be our test.
I mean, everyone can hear my dogs, but
And I've spoken to AJ about this as far as an incident management, that, maybe a tabletop exercise. We're way overdue to do that again since, I've obviously been through it before, but we have, since we have a new council, I don't think any of you have been through that incident management, so I've talked to AJ about pulling that up, and Chief Cardwell will probably be part of that, and obviously Chief Johansson would be part of that as well, to do that, and as part of that whole thing, you'd be taking some online courses to go through the National Incident Management System, just to kind of brush up on that, but I think it's highly appropriate that we update that. So I've talked to AJ about maybe doing that sometime this summer.
Right. I've tasked the chief, and now that he's fully staffed again and operational, they've put a number of the projects behind them, and they will be bringing that to the forefront as soon as possible.
So, as an example, Blake is the alternate for Polk County Emergency Management. I'm the primary elected, and you're the alternate, and also then Chief Cardwell's on there. But, Blake was great. I'm glad you were on there to see the inner workings of that, because as he was talking about it, after the storms went through Pleasant Hill that night, you and I were both on at 10:30. It was 10:30 on Friday night. We were both on the Zoom call and just listening to see what was there. And thank goodness we didn't have any damage for our city, but certainly it was good it's good to hear the process, and there is a process in place, and and to reach out to those affected and to get what they need as quickly as possible. So.
With the tabletop exercise, is that something that Polk County is that something they facilitate?
We could possibly talk to, yeah, I'm not sure, we'll have to talk to Chief Cardwell about how he wants to do it, but we could possibly do that through Polk County or just do our own.
In the past, we've done our own, where the fire department, the incident command rests with the fire department, and all the directors have their assigned responsibilities, and that we pick an event, a tornado, a chemical spill, something that requires us to mobilize everybody in a fashion that, aside from public safety, they're typically not used to doing. So we all have our roles and responsibilities, but as Mayor mentioned, it's good to get you folks into that tabletop discussion, because there is the limited role for the council except for the mayor. And so I want you to understand those roles and the expectations, and knowing what our roles as staff are, so that as information gets pushed out, as you hear things, as you maybe see equipment moving around. The interesting thing about the Polk County relationship is that if something happens in Polk County and we don't have an event in our community, but we're called upon, we share resources, manpower when necessary. So that's the beauty about the Polk County system. You have a larger group of individuals and equipment available to respond. But typically that tabletop would be first at the local level.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Larry.
I just wanted to reiterate what Bridget brought up earlier, because I received multiple phone calls and text messages about all the lovely yard signs that were put up over the weekend. And I know, AJ, you said that we go around and pick them up, but it feels like all we do is collect them on their behalf and hand them back over. So I'm not sure if there's anything, penalty-wise that we can associate with folks who are repeatedly doing this to discourage them from doing it again in the future. But it's definitely something that has been pointed out to me on numerous occasions over the weekend. The other thing I'd bring up is we have a lot of fun things coming up with the Parks and Rec staff. I saw that we have our concert series kicking back off again, and a few other different events that are happening around Urbandale. So keep your eyes peeled on social media, because it's finally that time of the year. Start getting outside again.
I've been known to be a sign enforcement officer, pick them up and cut them in half.
If I pick them up, they don't get them back.
Yeah, they don't get them back. I think I mentioned speaking at Olmsted for BizTown and interviewing, and Chief Johansson was there as well. And I'm sure, Chief, you got your stack of thank you notes too. It's great to read some of these. I just wanted to share a few of these. Dear Mayor Andewig, thank you for coming and interviewing the people who wanted to be the mayor, and thank you for spending your time to make BizTown better. I hope you have a good time being mayor. Mayor Andewig, thank you so much for taking, this is the young man I actually elected as mayor. I interviewed for 3 or 4 folks to.
You did the interviewing?
Yeah, and
Wow.
Chief was interviewing as well. So this one, dear Mayor Andewig, thank you very much for taking your time to interview me. I am very grateful that you chose me to be the mayor. Thank you for serving our community and making Urbandale a better place for us to live. Thank you for your wonderful leadership.
Oh, nice.
Now, the one kid, they also, some of them drew pictures. The first one, it looks like I'm like a convict. I mean, I actually shaved that day, but he's got the blisters all over. But the one I actually elected mayor, he's got a nice top hat and. Yeah. So anyway, these are fun to read, but it was a great time and good kids, and Chief, I'm sure you had a good time too. It was a wonderful time to interview these kids. So that's all I have. Anything else for the good of the order?
Do we swear these kids in at a council meeting or something? Is that?
I would say too, we just all need to also sit down and start thinking about AJ's replacement and that process that we need to utilize. So just want to make sure that doesn't fall off our radar.
Well, that's very much on the radar, and I think probably the process I'd like to see is that I'm going to sit down maybe with Amy and AJ as Mayor Pro Tem and the mayor and AJ to maybe propose a process moving forward. So
Sounds good.
make that presentation. So very good. All right. we are at the end of the agenda, so we stand adjourned.